Hey guys, I'm Josh.
And I'm George.
And we're the first father and son to ever cycle around the world. We're currently 12,000 kilometers into our journey and we're here in Yunnan province, China, at this incredible Nordisk village. And we thought this would be a perfect opportunity to run through our kit from our bikes to our tent and sleeping equipment, all the way to what we use to film these videos. Let's get straight into it.
Yeah, it's been a tricky balance trying to get the weight as low as we can, but have as much kit with us that we need to keep us going, particularly in the remote areas. So there's quite a lot to go through. So should we have a look?
Let's start off with the bikes. Most important thing.
Well, a bit of a tough journey without them.
Yeah.
Both the bikes are pretty much the same. They're based on Trek 920s. With a few little modifications. Josh is a little bit bigger because he's slightly longer than I am. Let's start with the front end. So we've got these wheels made by August Bicycles in Norfolk. They're custom built and proven very robust for up to 180 kilos, which should be enough for us. The tyres are Schwalbe Marathon Plus Tour, puncture resistant tyres. So far we've had about 3 punches on this trip. Touch wood, we'll keep puncture free for a few more thousand kilometers yet. In the middle we've got a Son 28 hub dynamo, which produces power as we pedal, and if we're moving more than about 6 kilometers an hour, it'll send a charge through into the frame and then up into this little hub charger. From Toots Terrain, a Sync Plug 6 it's called, and we just plug our USB in there and that keeps our gadgets charged on the go. At the front we've got these handlebars by Redshift, fantastic piece of kit with a suspension stem, so very ergonomic, very comfortable with these lovely grips on, and the suspension takes the bumps out, so it's not so jarring on your wrists. Standard frame. And then on the seat, again, a Redshift suspension system, which takes the bumps out of your backside, which is great. That's our little mascot, Clara. Brooks saddle, fantastic piece of kit, made in Birmingham in Britain, and we've had no rear issues at all through using these incredible saddles. 20,000 kilometers on these. And onto the rear. Same wheels, tyres as front end, so it's custom built. Standard group set that came with the Trek bike, although we've upgraded the hub to a Hope hub, which has been great so far. That's pretty much it for the bike.
We also both have a little mascot, which is an old dog toy of our dogs back home in England, and their heads have been, well, the dog removed the heads, so we've attached them onto our bikes. So I've got the bear, Alfred the bear, and Dad's is, what's yours called?
Clara.
Clara the cow on his, and they've been with us all the way since England as our little mascots. And we have got 2 new ones, which we'll show you in a bit. Next, we're going to jump into what we wear. Now, Dad and I pretty much have exactly the same items of clothing, and it's all packed up pretty much the same. So all of our clothes are in these clothes bags by Ortlieb, which are great and they fit perfectly in a pannier. So we have 3 of these each. I have in each one different things. This one's more like underwear and underlayers. Swim shorts. I have 3 pairs of underwear, a couple of pairs of socks, and then thermal bottoms and a woolly hat. And yeah, this is just the base layers of things, and that all goes in there. In the second bag is the clothes we wear on the bike, our cycling kit. So we both have 2 pairs of bib shorts and 2 cycle jerseys each. We got these fully made for us by Gore, as one of our sponsors, and with Studio One, which they're really nice, super lightweight and super comfortable to wear. I also have a jumper in here. I haven't worn this in months, but when we were back in Europe and it was a little bit more chilly, this was always on, which is a nice layer to have. Now, and the final one is our day-to-day clothes, which is what we wear when we're not pedaling. I'm currently wearing a pair of sports shorts, which basically have on all the time when I'm not cycling, and just a plain black t-shirt. And then in here, you've just got a couple more t-shirts, a lightweight t-shirt, and some lightweight camping trousers, and yeah, another t-shirt. And this is just the kit that we carry with us for when we're not cycling. When it comes to waterproofs, we both have a waterproof jacket, again from Gore. Very lightweight, extremely waterproof, not had any issues with this, so this is really good, especially now as we're entering Southeast Asia. I'm probably going to get wet quite a lot. And then I also have a dry bag which has the rest of the waterproofs in it, and this includes cycle waterproof shoes which go over the top. These have only come out a couple of times, but when it's been a full day of rain, they've been so useful to keeping our feet nice and dry. And then I also have a pair of cycling waterproof trousers, again from Gore. Again, incredible, but only been used a couple of times so far. But when we have needed them, we've been so grateful we've had them. And for the last piece of clothing, probably the most valuable piece, is a puffer jacket. This one's from Rab, and this is so warm, so comfy. I also use this as my pillow at night, but it's down feathers, and yeah, it's just essential for these kind of trips, especially when we're camping and it's a bit chillier in the evenings. This comes out and keeps us nice and warm. I've also cycled in it a couple of days when it was really cold through Europe, which again helped with keeping me warm. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting yourself a down jacket on an adventure like this. And now onto footwear. This might be a little bit excessive. We have 4 pairs of footwear each. We'll start off with the cycling pairs. So we have cycle shoes, which are great. They're just basic, got cleats. But to be honest, we haven't used them much because we have these cycling sandals. Again, they've got cleats, and these have been absolutely incredible. I think since we left Europe, these have been on our feet every single day. It just keeps our feet fresh and dry. Got the nice airflow on our feet, not get sweaty feet in socks. And yeah, these have just been probably one of the best pieces of kit we have on this trip, and we're very glad that we got recommended these just before we set out, because they have been game-changing, and yeah, one of the best pieces of kit. And then in terms of what else we have, we each carry a pair of flip-flops just for mooching around in. These are very cheap, very basic flip-flops, nothing special, but yeah, very useful for just when you're, especially in camp, you just want to slip them on and off, getting from place to place. And I also carry a pair of pretty beaten up white trainers, mainly used for when we're in cities or wanting to go on a bit more of a longer walk. I can just put these on and explore in them. And lastly, the thing that keeps us safe if we have an accident, the helmet. This helmet we've had, both Dad and I have the same helmet. We've had them 4 years since our trip across the US, but again, just ideal, not had any issues with it. And that is paired with a pair of Oakley sunglasses, which are on our head every single day. Not much more I can say about these. They're just, yeah, great sunglasses.
Right, now on to my favourite subject, cooking and food. And we'll start with the cooking kit. So we've got that's our stove, the MSR Whisper Light. Runs on all sorts of different fuel, from gasoline to normal gas to kerosene, pretty much anything you can throw at it. So it's a brilliant piece of kit, really lightweight. Plugs into the fuel bottle. I'm currently running unleaded. Cooking equipment, wooden spoon, chopping board. We use Leatherman knives for cutting up, and we've got these super lightweight titanium bits of cutlery, which have been great. Water we filter using, when we need to, one of these, and it will turn muddy water into crystal clear drinking water, and we've had absolutely no problems using this, including the Yellow River. Then on to the pots and pans. Again, MSR kit, super lightweight, 2 big pots, plates, and some really good thermal mugs, all fit together into a nice compact system that's very easy to clean. We then have our food. As we're in China, we've been eating lots of noodles, and we've got spare noodles. Can't get pasta here. Normally it's pasta, so noodles for on the go, which we keep with us when we're camping. Additional flavourings to spice it up a bit when we need to. Brew kit, coffee, tea, etc. We've also got our backup rations here, dehydrated food. Just add water, leave for 5 minutes, and it's done. We keep that with us in case we are stuck out in the middle of nowhere, can't get any food, and we've got 4 meals each on that. Energy gels, a bunch of those, and for on the go, various snackettes, mainly dried fruit, quite often mango, which is just lovely. So that's our cooking kit.
And now for our home, the Nordisk Opland 3LW. It's a 3-man tent, but Dad and I need the space, and it's super lightweight. I think it weighs like 2.5 kilos, and it packs down pretty small. I carry this on my bike, but yeah, let's set it up and have a little tour. It normally takes about 5 minutes to fully set it up, so it's very quick and easy. It's just 3 poles straight through the middle, peg out the corners, and you're done. Here it is, the Nordisk tent. Let's take a look in. Oh. As you can see, very spacious. We've also got a Nordisk ground sheet, which means we don't get soggy when we're in this bit. This is where the bags live. Lots of space in here, and then the main sleeping compartment. Like I said, it's a 3-man tent, so you can fit 3 of us in there, but with both Dad and I, we like to have our space.
Some more than others.
Yeah, Dad takes up way more of the tent than I do. And then for sleeping equipment,
we have the mountain equipment helium sleeping mat. Rolls very compact, lightweight, and it's a good night's sleep. Easy to inflate, easy to deflate. Happy days. And for a nice cozy night, the Nordisk sleeping bag. 4 seasons, super lightweight,
super comfy.
Super comfy, and it's the Passion 5.
And then for a pillow, we usually just use our Rab down jackets and put them in a stuff sack. And that works pretty well for a comfy night's sleep. Now onto the phone case. Our phone cases are from Quadlock, who are also the sponsors of this video. And we've been using Quadlock phone cases for all of our bikepacking trips, from Land's to John O'Groats, across the US and now around the world. These cases are great. They do not feel like you've got a big bulky cycling case on, and they fit perfectly. They're very easy, straight onto the bike like that, and I can use my phone to navigate or take pictures. It's very easy while I'm cycling. Take it off, take a picture, put it back on. We absolutely love Quadlock phone cases. I wouldn't do a cycle trip without it. Now we're going to move on to my favourite section, the camera gear. For those that don't know, I've been a travel filmmaker for the past 4 to 5 years, and we are documenting this whole trip, making YouTube videos, Instagram content, and at the end we're going to be producing a big long feature film of the whole journey. So the camera gear is very important, and it's something that I've built up over time, and we've got a lot of different pieces of equipment that are used to document this journey. Starting off with the main camera, which is filming this right now, so let's switch to my phone. So the main camera is a Sony ZV-E1, which is an absolute powerhouse. It's super small and lightweight, perfect for vlogging. And on it at the moment, we've got the 16-35 G Master Mark II. This combination is perfect for what we're doing. It's lightweight, it catches a wide angle, so it's good for vlogging, good for like shots of us cycling past. And it's been my main camera for this journey. When I'm not using that, I will be using my phone. I use the Blackmagic app on my phone, so I can shoot and log, and that's for mainly recording stuff while I'm cycling. I'll just take out my phone and be able to film Dad cycling or the view, etc. And I sometimes vlog to my phone as well. It's very easy, everyone's got one, and it's one of the most important pieces of the camera kit. In terms of other lenses I've got with me, I also have a 24-70 Sony G Master Mark II. This I don't use so much, but especially when I'm wandering around the streets off the bike, I'll use it for photos and filming more cinematic things. Sometimes we'll use it when I want to get more of a different angle, different kind of shot. We'll set up the camera on the tripod with this, but again, super good lens and an absolute beast. Other cameras we have with us, Dad's main camera is a GoPro Hero 13. He has the vlogging mod attached so he can chat to it while he's pedaling along. We also have a second one of these just as a spare. I have it in my bag. If it's raining, this is what I'll use, as everything else doesn't really work in the rain. We also have an Insta360 X4. Again, this is usually on my bike, just on the front, and I use this for capturing conversations with locals. Kind of the only reason I have it with me, but it's so useful when that happens because it's not like you're forcing a big camera in someone's face. It's very discreet and it captures your reaction and it also captures their reaction. So yeah, absolutely love having this on the bike. I'll also carry a Joby Gorilla Pod. I don't use this too much, but sometimes I'll like to just set up a camera very quickly, knock it out the big tripod, or put the camera somewhere that a big tripod can't get to, like in a tree or something. That's what I use this for. And then the main tripod is a small rig tripod that the camera's on at the moment. Yeah, this tripod is great. It's super easy to use. Probably the most important thing when it comes to video is actually the audio. Most of the time, I just have a Sony shotgun mic on the camera, which captures most of the audio, and then also using what I'm using now, which are these wireless, Sony wireless mics, which they're Bluetooth. I can wear one, Dad can wear one, we can have a conversation, and it picks up perfectly good audio. And then I also carry, I think I have 4 Sony batteries with me. And for the aerial shots, the drone. We have got quite a big drone with us. A few reasons for that, but we have got the Mavic 3 Pro. It's got my China drone registration on it at the moment, as we're in China. But this drone is an absolute beast. It's massive, it does weigh quite a bit, but I think its pros far outweigh its cons. The main reason being it has 3 lenses. It's got a 1x, a 3x, and a 7x, so I can get more dynamic shots of us cycling, different range and variety of shots, which is really cool. And I've loved this drone. This has traveled all over the world with me for the past 2 years, and it's an absolute beast. And also the battery life is really good on it. The batteries last about 45 minutes, so I can usually get between 2 to 3 flights out of each battery, which is crucial when we're camping and there's nowhere to charge. I've got 3 batteries with us, so I can get 6, 7, 8 flights out of it when I need to.
While Joshua has to carry loads of camera kits, I have the pleasure of carrying the spares repair and first aid kit. So we'll go through that now. We've got the immediate spares on these small Ortlieb seat carriers, which are brilliant. So we have inner tubes in these and tyre levers. Get them out. We get the tyres off when we need to. Puncture repair kit. Hopefully don't need it very often, and we haven't so far, which has been good. That sits in there. Multi-tool, this one's by Silka, and it's fantastic. It's got all the different bits and pieces you need for adjusting parts on the bike, chain breakers. Yeah, very good bit of kit, very impressed with this. It's been really helpful. So that all goes in there. Foldable spare tyre if we get something catastrophic, which we have had. One of the tyres had a blowout, so we were lucky we were carrying some of that. Oils and lubes in this one. Keep things running smoothly. Synergetic and this special super secret chain coating. And then a bag of mixed spares for the Ortlieb kit, various straps, fabric repair kits, and a selection of different fixtures, fittings, nuts, bolts, so that if we do have any problems, we've got ones that we can change on that. Spare cables, bottom bracket, having had one collapse. That's quite handy. And then this little selection of spare batteries for things like the cadence meter, black nasty, bit of black masking tape there, Loctite, various electrical tapes, electrical connectors, and a chain checker for seeing how warm the chains are, so we can get that replaced before it gets too bad. And into here we have a selection of cable ties, small, medium, large and metal, 20mm spanner, which came into use today because the 20mm nut was loose, which hangs the gears on, which is a bit handy. Spare chains, spare brake pads, which are hidden away in this one here, so we've got all spares for those, and an absolute lifesaver, this box of goodies all the way from China, Jubilee clips, which when we had the rear racks suddenly fall apart at one joint, the bit that held them together was some of these. So superb piece of spares. MSR repair kit for the stove, paracord and carabiners, multiple uses, from clotheslines to hanging food up out the reach of animals. And we've got this, which is an electronic tyre inflator from Psych Plus. We've yet to test it, but we'll see what that is like at putting the tyres, getting the tyres inflated. Much easier than spending half an hour pumping, so that should do it in a minute. So we're looking forward eventually to using that. And this again from Silka, fantastic piece of kit here. Torque wrench, so multiple different heads with a torque wrench meter here, so we can make sure we're adjusting things to the right level, nice and compact and pretty good. And then on to our first aid kit. So we have a pretty comprehensive first aid kit here with all the usual necessities: bites, stings, plasters, Compeed, all that sort of stuff. Absolutely essential. The deli belly repair kit. So for when we do have the Uzbek belly or the stir fry belly, instant Imodiums, Diorolite, and then various other pain-killing tablets, bandages, and pads for sore areas as and when they might appear. And on top of that, our field latrine. Leave no trace. I'll say no more. And the final piece of kit, security. We lock the bikes up with this Kryptonite high security lock. Covers both bikes, and it's very easy to use, not overly heavy. Yeah, it works.
Now we are editing on the go and producing the content while we're cycling, usually in the evenings or on rest days, and the main piece of kit we use for that is my laptop, which is in this laptop case, which has lots of padding on it, keeps the laptop safe. This also goes in my clothes pannier, so there's as much protection on this as this is probably the most important thing that I carry with me. In terms of the MacBook itself, it's a MacBook Air M4, the larger one of the two, but again, it's great. It's powerful enough to run Premiere Pro, and the battery life's pretty decent on it. So yeah, this is the laptop I've been using for the past few months, and I've had no issues with it in terms of editing workflow over that time. And then also in the laptop case, I carry 3 to 4 SanDisk SSDs. This stores everything. Dad will carry a backup too, just so we have a backup of everything with us. We also have a backup off-site, not with us. Every time we can get a backup sent away as well, just so we're at no risk of losing the footage. These are expensive, but they're so needed to keep the storage of all of the footage. Also in here, I've got a pair of Apple headphones, which I only really use when I'm editing, because when I'm cycling, I use these Shocks Bluetooth bone conducting headphones, and these sit, oh, my hair's too long at the moment, but they sit really nicely, so you can still hear everything out of your ears, but they sort of just play the sound through your skull somehow, and they've been incredible. The battery life on these is great, and this is how I listen to podcasts and music as we're cycling along. Also in here, I just have a SD card reader and my laptop charger, and that's about it. That all lives in here. To keep everything charged on the go, both Dad and I have a portable charger. My first one broke while about 2 months ago, so I went back to this. It's quite big and heavy, but it lasts, it usually does 3 to 4 charges on my phone. So when we're not using the hub dynamo on the bike to charge things, this is what I use, and yeah, it's been super good, and I've got no complaints about that. Next, I have 2 GoPro boxes. Now these boxes are great. I love them for storing small things in. I use one of them for my chargers and everything that I use to charge all of my electronics up. Most important thing in here is this, a universal plug adapter. And this can be used in any country in the world. You can plug in any plug this side, and outside here will become any plug you like, which is super handy. This costs like 10 quid on Amazon. It's super affordable and very essential. I then have drone chargers, GoPro battery chargers, and all of the cables. Luckily, most of our electronics are USB-C, but there are a couple of annoying pieces of equipment that aren't, so we have to have special cables for them. That's why there is more than sort of 2 or 3 cables in here, but they're small and lightweight, so it's not too big of an issue. In the other GoPro box is kind of just more miscellaneous things. I have a head torch, which is super useful when we're camping or when it's dark outside. I have more Sony batteries for the camera, a couple of spare rear lights from Trek, and then these are more just camera mounts. I have a phone mount so I can put my phone on the camera or the tripod, GoPro mounts, and some cloths. I don't really use this box too much. This is kind of more emergency use. These batteries, I have 2 batteries in my main handlebar bag anyway, but if we get to emergency and I'm completely out, then I'll find this box up and get this stuff out. In terms of other electronics, we just saw 2 rear lights, but there's another one which will be on the bike, and a front light. Not much to say about these. They're both very good. They hold their charge, and yeah, we use them every day. So yeah, they're pretty sweet. We then also have a Garmin GPS cycling computer which tracks all of our stats, and that sits right in front of me on my handlebars, so I can see our distance, time, and all the stats I want to see while we're cycling. And then one of the most important pieces of kit we carry is a Garmin InReach Mini 2. This is a satellite tracking device which sends a signal up to the satellite every 10 minutes, and then it will plot where we are on the map, so you can see where we are every 10 minutes. It also has an SOS device built into it, so if we're somewhere out of phone reception and we get into a bit of trouble, we can press the button and it will contact the local search and rescue team. Luckily, we've never had to use that, but it's reassuring to know that we can do that. We have that backup in case something goes wrong when we're in the middle of nowhere. Now, most of my electronics go in my front handlebar bag. This is where my camera sits, where the Garmin InReach sits, and sort of some of the spare batteries. I have a camera insert in here, so the camera sits perfectly. This is also on the suspension post at the front, so any micro jitters are taken away, so I won't get any damage on the camera. But again, this bag is great. It's easy access to the camera. I also usually have my wallet in here and a few other like day-to-day essential items. But yeah, this is perfect for around the world cycling. That's all of our gear, and it all gets packed into panniers. We have 4 rollers each, 2 on the front and 2 on the back, and 1 rack pack, which is sort of a big duffel bag which sits on the back of the bikes, and then we each have our handlebar bags as well. We both carry our own individual items like clothes, sleeping bags, roll mats, and then the things that we share, such as the tent and the cooking equipment, we split between the bikes to evenly distribute the weight. But yeah, that's everything. Let's get the bikes loaded and then we're all ready to go. And that's our bikes pretty much fully packed up. There's a few last little things we're going to show you, starting off with these little guys. Who's this, Dad?
That is Percy the panda, all the way from Chengdu.
That's Dad's little mascot, and then mine is Rory the red panda, also from Chengdu. And they're two more of our mascots. So this is the bike, fully loaded. They weigh, how much they weigh?
About 50 kilos all up.
Yeah, so they're pretty heavy, but it's everything we need to survive as we cycle around the world. But once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video. We're going to get back to pedaling around the world.